I had given you a small homework. So in that homework, I had asked you to just write the KVL equations. Right? I think most of you have shown me. Okay. Um, but nevertheless, okay, I will quickly write the equations on the screen. Okay. The screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Fine. Now, did everyone buy calculator?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you haven't bought, uh, I would suggest you to buy it as soon as possible. Okay. That's because maybe in a day or two we will be handling complex problems. Complex as in not the what do you say? The problems are simple, okay, but you have to go for laborious method to find the unknown currents. So you can do it very easily using calculators. Since calculators are permitted, why to waste time in handheld calculations? That's the reason I'm saying. Okay, all right. So what you can do is, let's say this current, I will take it as I1. Okay, and let's say this current, I will take it as I2. This current is the difference of I1 and I2. So current through IR3, let me take it as I1 minus I2. Okay. And over here, this particular current, I will take it as I3. Okay. And the current which flows through R5 going to be I1 minus I2, that is the previous current, minus I3. Okay. So this current, or the current which flows through resistor R5, is I1 minus I2 minus I3. Okay. So this is how we assign the current directions. Okay. And now let us apply KVL. Let's say this is A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Similarly, say this node is F. This is G, H, and some I, J, and then let's say K. Okay, I have created a node at the resistor junction and the battery junction also. If at all you haven't created a node, no problem. All right, so let me write loop 1. Okay, so I am going to move around in loop 1 in clockwise direction. That's like A to B, then C, then D, and then E, and back to A. So basically, my traversal is in clockwise direction, right? Let me start collecting the elements. So when I move from terminal A to B, I'm going to trace the battery from negative potential to positive potential. Hence, the potential is plus V1. Okay, then when I move from, let's say, B to C, okay, my traversal as well as the current direction is in the same direction. Hence, I'm going to get a potential drop, that is I1 into R1. Okay, of course, with a negative sign. Then I'll move from node C to D. Okay, my direction is agreeing with current I2 direction. Hence, I will get minus I2 into R2. And when I move from terminal D to E, the battery is getting traced from negative potential to positive potential. Hence, the potential is taken as plus V2. Okay, is equal to 0. Or you can keep EMFs on one side. So what I've done, I have kept V1 and V2 on the left hand side, and I'll bring the potential drops onto the right hand side. I2 into R2. So that's your first KVL equation. Okay. Now let me apply KVL to loop 2. Okay. So what is my loop 2? Again, my traversal is in clockwise direction. So my loop 2 is traced in clockwise direction. So let me start from say E node. So E to D, then C, then F, then G, then H, I, and back to E. Okay. So let us move from node E to D. Okay. So when I move from node E to D, you can see that the battery is getting traced from positive terminal to negative terminal. Hence, the EMF is negative. And when I move from the node D to C, okay, you can see that my traversal is actually opposing current direction I2, okay, the downward current. I'm going upward and the current is flowing in the downward direction. Hence, potential across resistor R2 is regarded as potential rise, I'm sorry. So that's I2 into R2 plus, right? So plus I2 into R2, this is called as, let me write in words, potential rise, okay, because of the opposite direction. All right, then I'll move from node C to F. I have a resistor R3. My traversal is in clockwise direction and the current is also flowing in the same direction. So negative I1 minus I2 into the resistance value, which is R3. Okay, then the battery. Okay, so I move from F to G. So when I move from F to node G, the battery is getting traced from negative potential to positive potential, which is considered as positive EMF, so plus V3. Okay, then I move from G to H. Okay, so my traversal is in downward direction and the current is also flowing in the downward direction. Hence, there is a potential drop across R4, which is I3 into R4. Okay, and then H to I move. The battery is getting traced in the opposite direction, right? That is from positive potential to negative potential. Hence, the EMF is regarded as negative. Okay, so that is negative V4. Okay, and then from I to E, I move around. There's no element, hence there is no potential drop. So this is equal to 0. Okay, so let me keep EMFs on one side. So basically, I have V3, which is positive, minus V2 minus V4 is equal to, let me take all the potential drops onto the right hand side. So what do I have? I have plus I1 minus I2 into R3 plus I3 R4. Okay, and then when I bring this I2 R2 onto the right hand side, I get minus I2 into R2. Okay, now I'm not going to solve this particular equation. Okay, I'll just write down the equation, because your objective is not to find out what is I1, I2, etc., etc. The objective was to get the correct KVL equation. Okay. So finally, I'll go to loop 3. So what do I have in my loop 3? So in loop 3, okay, so it is IHG, all right, IHG, I to H, H to G, and then JKI, JKI. All right, so let me write down. When I move from I to J, I get plus V4. Then I move from H to G, so opposite direction, hence potential rise. So it is plus I3 into R4. And then I move from G to J, so in the same direction. So minus I1 minus I2 minus I3 into R5, is it? Right, R5 minus, okay. So basically J to K I am moving. Battery is getting traced from positive terminal to negative terminal, that is in this direction. Hence the EMF is negative. Then I do not have any element, okay, between K and I, hence it is zero potential drop. Or V4 minus V5 is equal to I1 minus I2 minus I3 into R5 minus I3 into R4. So this is my equation. This is my equation. So this is equation 3. Okay. Okay. Now, again, while writing this equation, see, I have assumed this as I1, I have assumed this as I2, right? Probably you must have taken current through R1 as I and current through R3 as, say, I2. Doesn't matter. Okay. Always you look for the signs. Okay. And in the end, the format of the equation should not change, in the sense in which you collect the potential drops across the resistors should not change. Okay. All right. So that is how I write the KVL equations. Okay. Now, a small exercise. You consider this particular network, okay, a simple KVL problem. Let us try to solve. Say I have a battery here. Okay, then I have a battery of this kind over here. Let's say this is 20 volt and let's say this is 10 volt. Okay, and this resistor is, let's say this is 50, 20 and say 40. Okay. Okay. Next, take down the question. For the network shown below, find the currents through the resistors. For the network shown below, find the current through the resistors. Okay. In the sense, you are supposed to find the current through 50 ohm, 20 ohm, as well as 40 ohm. Okay. So this is a simple two-loop network. So how do we solve? Okay. I'm not applying mesh analysis. Okay, mesh analysis later I will introduce. Okay, so let's say I start from left-hand side. Okay, and I'll assume the current which is flowing through 50 ohm as I1 and current that flows through 20 ohm as I2. Okay, and the current which flows through 40 ohm is the difference of the two currents. So it is I1 minus I2. I1 minus I2. Okay. See, that's the reason I have told find the currents through the resistors. If at all you have taken, let's say from 10 volt source side, it hardly matters, because in the end we will be just comparing the magnitude of the current. Okay. If you get any negative value of current, it simply means that the actual current flow is in the opposite direction. Okay, that's all. The direction is opposite, whereas the magnitude remains the same. So that conclusion we can write whenever we get a negative sign in our current. Okay, fine. So let me apply KVL. Say A, B, C, D. Let's say my traversal is in clockwise direction, and this is E and this is EF. Okay, so apply KVL in loop A, B, C, D. In bracket, let me write clockwise direction. Clockwise direction. Okay. So shall I start writing?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. So apply KVL in loop A, B, C, D. EA. Okay, because it's a closed loop. So let's start from node A to B. So when I move from A to B, okay, the battery is getting traced from negative terminal to positive terminal, hence it is plus 20. Then let me move from B to C. Okay, so I'll just use a different color, okay, so that I can show you the traversal as well as the current direction. Okay, so I am moving from left to right, and the current flow through the 50 ohm resistor is also flowing from left to right. So the direction is agreeing with each other, hence we have a potential drop, which is 50 into I1. Okay, then let me move from node C to D. So C to D, I'm moving in the downward direction, and current I2 is also flowing in the downward direction. Hence, I have a potential drop, which is minus 20 into I2. Okay. Then finally, I move from D to A. There are no elements, hence zero potential. So this is equal to 0. So algebraic sum of EMFs and potential drops in a closed network is 0. So that's our KVL. Or let me rearrange this equation. So 20 is equal to 50 I1 plus 20 I2. Let me put it in a box. Let me call this as equation 1. Okay. Now apply KVL in loop, say D, C, E, F. If fourth hour class teacher has joined, I just borrow 3 minutes of your time to complete this particular KVL equation. So please allow me, sir. Okay, apply KVL in loop D, C, E, F, D. Okay. So let us move from node D to C. Okay. So probably what I will do, I will use a different color. Okay. Say orange color I'll use. So I'm moving from node D to C, right? So this is my traversal. I'm moving from node D to C. Okay, but current is flowing in opposite direction. Hence, I have a potential rise. So that is given as plus 20. Okay, then let us move from C to E. So C to E I'm moving. So the direction is agreeing with the current direction, which is I1 minus I2 direction. Hence, I have a potential drop, which is minus 40 into I1 minus I2. Okay. Then finally, I am moving from E to F, right? E to F. So battery is getting traced from negative terminal to positive terminal. Hence, I have plus 10 volts. And there are no elements between F and D. Hence, there is no voltage drop. And that is equal to 0. Okay. So now let us rearrange the equation. So keep EMFs on one side and keep potential drops onto the other side. So let me keep EMF on left hand side and let me push all my potential drops onto the right hand side. So what do I get? I get minus 20 I2. When I bring this onto the right hand side, I get it as minus 20 I2. Then this becomes plus 40 into I1 minus I2. Okay. So it's a hybrid term, right? It has I1 signal as well as I2 signal. So what I will do, I will separate out the terms. So that is 10 is equal to minus 20 I2 plus 40 I1 minus 40 I2. So let us group the like terms together. So I can say that 10 is equal to 40 I1. Okay, minus 20 I2 and minus 60 I2. That is minus 20 plus minus 40 is minus 60 I2. So that's my equation 2. Okay. So solve equation 1 and 2 to get I1 and I2. Okay. So try to solve these two simultaneous equations. Okay. I know you can solve the simultaneous equations. So the same method you apply over here also, and try to solve the simultaneous equations. Okay, once you get I1 and I2, you let me know what is the current flow through. Okay, somewhere here I will write
by 11.
I50, I20, and I40. Okay, so please put your answers in the dedicated basic electrical module.
So I got the answer for
By
I-50
11.
as 1 ampere, I-40 as 1 ampere, and I-20 as 2 ampere, sir.
Okay, awesome. You please post those answers in our dedicated WhatsApp group. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll close the session today. Okay. Sorry for the reduced time. We will take it forward in the next class. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.